Welcome back, my friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer, so now let's talk silver. We have a lot of news today, folks. This is a big video. You're going to want to stick all the way through because we have several different things to talk about. Silver prices gained as investors weighed on the flight to precious metals. Everyone wishes for silver and gold. After the meeting, Bitcoin stocks tumble. Another setup for silver. We're going to be looking at all of this plus more. I also wanted to mention something. I made a clothing line for silver stackers. I design everything on this site. It's called ag47apparel.com. If you use code Slayer, you get 10% off your order. It's not just for silver stackers. Like, we have this dollar crash hoodie, a dollar sign with the skull and crossbones under it. We have this one that's pretty cool. It says the dollar is worthless, so buy silver. And on the back, it has 3 nines fine. This is a really cool one. It has the dollar logo. On the back, it has a barcode that says priceless. Obviously different colorways. This is one of my favorites, the slightly skeptical hoodie, like we all should be. This is a new one actually right here. It's the viewer discretion is advised. There's more as well. So I just wanted to mention, if you wanted to express your love for precious metals or the corrupt financial system, go to ag47apparel.com. So, silver prices have been on a rise. We saw silver break below $20 on March 10th, and now it's already up to nearly $23.50 13 days later. What is going on? We're going to break all of this down right now. Silver prices gained as investors weighed the flight to precious metals. Prices gained as investors weighed the flight to precious metals against expectations of weak demand for silver as an industrial component. Despite the dovish tone struck by the Federal Reserve in its March meeting, Chairman Jerome Powell stated that the central bank does not expect any rate cuts this year, dashing any hopes for lower borrowing costs. Higher interest rates press the demand for silver as an input for goods with high electricity conduction needs, as reflected in decreased prices of solar panel equities. Still, a flight to precious metals proceeded after the U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen denied considering the protection of all deposits in the U.S. banking system by the government. On the supply side, steady outflows in bullion inventories continued to support silver prices. What have we been talking about this whole time? What have we been talking about for years? Regardless of what the dollar is doing, silver is going to take on a life of its own because it has opportunity where other investments and assets don't, where there has uses for the world like other applications don't. Even gold, no matter what gold does, silver can do what it does because gold isn't used for the same reason silver is. So you can see why my name is Silver Slayer and not Gold Guy, not Gold Guru, not Bitcoin Boy. There's reasons for this stuff, and it's looking like silver finally is starting to take on a life of its own. Another one, everyone wishes for silver and gold. After the Fed meeting, Bitcoin stocks tumble. There's this saying I've been saying for a long time now. Silver stackers always get the last laugh. Everyone wishes for silver, but those same people that are wishing for it are the ones that have been beating it down with a metal bat for years. Are you surprised? Because I'm not. Bazinga! Precious metals such as gold and silver have outperformed all asset classes following the March FOMC policy meeting as investors' uncertainties about the future economic prospects grow. I'm not going to go into all these trusts. You guys can check this out. I already covered is silver the next GameStop. There's other stuff. But key takeaways from the March FOMC meeting: Federal Reserve increased interest rates by 0.25 percentage point to 4.75% to 5% at its March meeting, citing that some further increases may be appropriate. During the press conference, Federal Chairman Jerome Powell dismissed prospects for Fed rate cuts, but also emphasized the need to assess incoming data with regards to future policy decisions in light of the ongoing stress in the banking system. So that's happening as well. We all know that the days leading up to and even the day of the FOMC meeting, the prices are very, very volatile because people are assuming what Federal Chairman Jerome Powell is going to come out and say. They're assuming what is going to be happening, and They're going off assumption. So the market is almost this false price because they're assuming what he's going to say. And then after he does say it, then people react to those numbers, and then the market corrects or changes again. And the funniest part is, even after he comes out and says this, it's still assuming because they don't even know yet. They say, we expect, we assume, our goal is, we hope to. Those are still not facts. So everything's based off speculation. The call for gold to hold support at $1,985 Monday was obviously wrong. No one is immune to hindsight, but the level itself wasn't. The $1,985 turned into resistance, as traders know prior support naturally does, with support lower at $1,965. The breach of $1,965, if $1,985 turning to resistance wasn't enough, was the last sign for traders to exit long positions from $1,935 to $50 area with profit intact. So here below is a 2-hour chart breakdown, or displaying the breakdown of gold. I want to cover silver more, but I think it is important to look at what gold and silver is doing, since, like I just said, I think that silver will start taking on a life of its own regardless of what gold does. And there's actually a couple articles that have been coming out talking about this, but I wanted to keep this video in somewhat of a timely manner, so I'll break off and talk about that in another video. So let's look at this. Below is a 2-hour chart displaying the breakdown, as well as the anatomy of the run-up leading to the call for price to fill space between yellow lines on the way up. So let's look at this. You see, here's the resistance level. It's looking like $2,011-ish or whatever was the resistance, and then it's looking like there's support at $1,940, $35 like he said, and there's going to be, because that's where support was before. And of course there's going to be resistance because $2,000, what gold broke past, or what gold was a couple of years ago, the highest price it's ever been, there's going to be a lot of resistance there. A lot. Just like $50 silver is going to be a strong resistance area, since silver hit $50 in 1980 and 2011. But when it breaks past $50, when gold breaks past $2,000, breaks through the resistance, who knows where the price could lead. It'll probably hit triple digits very, very shortly after, and then correct back downwards, because that will go into extreme overbought territory. Everyone's going to be jumping on the silver train, and then after a couple weeks or whatever, it's going to correct, which that actually is healthy. A correction is the correct thing to do. You never want something to just go up, 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 because then it's going to go down, 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 down. Prime example, Bitcoin in 2016. When it just kept going up. There was no correction. There was no sell-off. And that's why it crashed and took years and years to recover. It took like 4 years to recover, 5 years. So silver has been subject to less volatility than gold this week as bulls continue to consolidate. There we go. There it speaks for itself. Silver's less volatile than gold, where silver's usually more volatile. Silver is called the devil's metal. It's called it's called gold's little brother. I call it gold on steroids because it has extreme highs compared to gold and extreme lows. If gold's going to rise 10%, silver's going to rise 15%. And the opposite, if gold's going to drop 10%, silver's going to drop 15%. But we're not seeing that right now. Gold is more volatile. And that is where my stance has been for years, as eventually silver is going to start taking on a life of its own, because silver has uses beyond just gold. Why are the prices so directly correlated when they're used for two completely different things? So this is as the bulls continue to consolidate for what looks like to be an attempt to get back in the yellow box. 2-hour chart shown below. Should they succeed in doing so, the move to the top of the box around $24.50 becomes a high probability. So if that happens, which right now it's $23.15, who knows? I mean, we all know there's a lot of stuff happening with Trump right now, and who knows, that could play a huge part if things go certain ways, which who knows right now what's happening, whether they're stalled. I don't like talking about politics, but regardless, that could play a huge part. The banking system situation could play a huge part. There's just a lot going on in general. And that's why you can't let the day-to-day prices affect you, because we're living in such crazy times that every day something new is going to come out that's going to affect the price, either negatively or positively. And if it negatively affects the price and you start getting worried, you're going to drive yourself crazy. You have to understand it's not about silver at $22 or $28. The bigger picture of this equation is years down the line, not days down the line. Matter of fact, the lower the price goes, the happier, the better feeling I am, because I can get it for cheaper, because I know it's going to go back up. People think when the price starts going down, it's just going to go down forever. That's not the case. It's going to go down a little bit. Your investment might be in the red a little bit, but it's not going to stay there. And if you think it's going to stay there, or you consider selling, then you really got to reconsider your investing perspective, or why you invest. I think that's another main thing. People get into something not understanding why they're investing into it. You don't just do it because your friend does. And if your friend tells you to, you got to look in it yourself before you start. If you truly understood silver's true value, then no matter what the price is, it wouldn't affect you whatsoever. Silver can go down $15. I would not care. All I would do is buy a crap load of it. Silver was $11 in March of 2020. 3 years ago, silver was $11. Everyone was freaking out and selling it. You know what I was doing? Buying boatloads of it and telling others to. Those others didn't listen. I mean, I'm sure the core silver stackers did. A lot of people dipped out at $11, but they were just buying at $30 during a year later, during the Wall Street silver movement in February 2021. So like almost exactly a year later, everyone's buying boatloads of it at 30-something dollars, but won't buy it at 11. They're buying high and selling low. That is literally the exact opposite of what you're supposed to do. It's supposed to be buy low, sell high, not buy high, hope it goes higher. Anyways, sorry, I just went on a little tangent. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you thought this video was educational, informational, at least entertaining, make sure to hit the like button. If you liked the video, please like the video. Also remember, I have a site called ag47apparel.com, a clothing line made for silver stackers. If you use code Slayer, you get 10% off your order. There's lots of stuff on here, folks. We even have like banners, like this game over banner you can hang up in your man cave or your whatever. I like this slightly skeptical, this one, and on the back it says cautiously curious, because we should be, right? We should all be slightly skeptical. I love that colorway, by the way. That's sick. We all should be slightly skeptical of everything. So yeah, anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers. So if you want to join the movement, please subscribe. I appreciate you all. Thanks for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.